Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brooklyn. It's the WGIS, nothing less, giving it straight to your chest. Yeah, yeah. Know what? No chaser. Yeah, yeah. What's the name? It's the WGIS, nothing less, giving it straight to your chest. No chaser.
Welcome to another edition of the Rundown. WGI Sports Media. It's your boy Ja, the Drum Major. Here with my partner, as Bishop would say, partner. What up, partner?
Facts.
Chef, what it do, man? What's happening with you?
I'm good, baby. I'm good. You know, I needed that week off, man. It was getting crazy over here. Getting crazy. Schedule wise. It was, when you got two things compiled on top of each other, you gotta say, you know what? Boop.
Yeah, you need that time out, need a little reprieve, right?
No doubt. But it helped out. It helped out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi.
Messing up the show.
Oh, sorry. I came back with
You can't make it up when you live. What?
You know what I'm
You
saying?
think it wasn't live?
Well, folks, that was my darling daughter. Interrupting.
Can't make it up.
Interrupted this podcast. My darling daughter coming in the house. All right. Anyway, keep it in, Vlad. This is raw, organic.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll keep it.
I like it raw. I like it. Pause. Ooh.
I
I caught myself.
Pause.
I caught myself.
You almost had a Diddy Usher moment.
Yeah, I caught myself.
Did I say that too loud?
At least you caught yourself. Your man over here talking about that's how you keep it creamy.
Who said that?
I don't think I said that.
Damn it, man.
I gotta rewind the tape.
You was talking to one of your kids when it was just me and you. And I was like,
okay.
and I said pause, and you was like, just kept rolling.
I probably didn't even hear it, man. Probably rolled right over it. Steamed it. Steamed it.
But anywho, man.
Look who we got in the building.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just about to keep my introduction into the big man, the big boss.
No doubt.
The Godfather, the gridiron, the grump of the gridiron.
Yes, sir.
Special guest tonight, Big Dell. What it do, champ? How are you, sir?
What's happening? We're good. Let's roll with it.
Anything with the Deadpool background.
No doubt.
Like that Deadpool joint.
I love it.
And the name.
Yes.
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. No. 5-4. 5-4. FAFO. All right. What is FAFO, my friend?
Look around and find out.
Oh, shucks now. Shucks now.
Okay, so let me just give a warning now. The gloves are officially off.
Oh, shucks now. That man ain't coming in. That man ain't coming in to play tonight. He ain't coming. It's been a minute. Well, before we get into the show, what you got to say, Chef? Go ahead.
I'm just saying, the gloves just came off.
The gloves just came off? Okay.
Yeah, no sense on this show tonight.
All right. Well, listen. Before we get into the hot take tonight, we got a very interesting topic tonight. We got a breaking news NFL edition tonight. So that's why I brought in my boy Dell and my bro-in-law, Big Ty. Will be coming in. Will be joining us in a little bit to talk about this crazy NFL free agency that's happening. Some familiar faces in new places. Oh, we got a lot to discuss when it comes to that. But first, before we get into that, we're going to salute to our sponsors, starting with Sugar Radio, Sugar TV. Shout out to Franchise and New Girl. That's family over there. Also, Our brother Dell right here is one of the agents of one of their branches, New York. Nah. What is it? Real estate, music real estate. Real estate. Yes,
Right.
yes. Dell is
There's another branch. There's another branch on that tree.
Yes, what branch is that?
The VIP.
The VIP joint. Yes. The VIP joint. But we're gonna touch on music real estate because Dell is one of the agents there. If you want to get your music, you want to get your music heard, you want to get some spins, whether you're local or international, you go see that man on our screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, go see him, call him, or call Mr. Sadiq Bryant. Speak to one of them, talk to them, holler at them, submit your music, and they're gonna determine whether or not it's worth getting a spin. That's the first step. If they like it, if Dell likes it, if Sadiq likes it, they'll tell franchise about it. Franchise like it, they're gonna work with you to get your spins. So that is music real estate in a nutshell. Am I right, Dell? Am I right, Dell? Five-fold.
I feel like we're in a Brady Bunch.
Yeah,
like in the beginning of Brady Bunch.
That is Dell's response to how he determines your music is going to sound in his ears. So if you want a five-fold, submit your music.
No doubt.
Yes. Comment in the comment section if you want to know what five-fold means, and we will gladly answer that. We'll break down the acronym. For those of you that want a five-fold.
Especially Gen Z.
But anyway, music real estate. Music real estate, Sugarwater Radio, Sugarwater TV, VIP. They also got tons of other things that they building and going on over there. So shout out to Franchise and New Girl. Keep building that empire. Graph Inks, multimedia design, advertisement, and photography for any and all occasions. Bar mitzvahs, divorce parties, wedding parties, stripper parties, gender reveals. I got my income tax check. I'm free from jail. Graphics doesn't judge. You name the occasion, graphics will be there. Take the photography and advertise and do the graphic design for it. If graphics says don't judge, just pay them. They ain't gonna judge. Whatever occasion you want them there, they'll be there. Graphics.
No doubt.
Indeed. Fat Boy Coffee. Shout out to Coach Lonnie and our boy Rock, major distributors of the brand. Fat Boy Coffee. Various flavors, various gourmet flavors of coffee. Upon your first purchase, you will get a 10% discount using code WGIS1. Again, using code WGIS1 upon your first purchase of Fat Boy Coffee, you get a 10% discount. And last but not least, get your mind right, uplift your mind, uplift your consciousness, uplift your vibrations. Log on to www.inspiremotivationaltees.com. Get yourself a nice t-shirt or a hoodie. Powerful graphic messages on quality t-shirts and hoodies. I am the most popular sale. Log on again, www.inspiremotivationaltees, Inspire, INSPYAH, motivationaltees.com, and cop yourself a tee or hoodie. Very powerful graphics with messages, powerful messages on there to uplift your mind. Now that's out the way, gentlemen, as I stumbled across that. Before we get to the meat and potatoes of the topic, I want to talk about a topic that's been catching some waves a little bit, and this is college basketball. Not college basketball, but women's college basketball. They've been making some waves. They've been garnering some type of excitement a little bit. They've been making little waves since last year or the last 2 years. 3 names in particular comes to mind. One, Caitlin Clark. One, Angel Reese, and of course the queen, the reigning queen of women's college basketball in terms of coach, my girl Dawn Staley. Y'all know I F's with her heavy since she was a player. Dawn Staley has been reigning supreme with Southern Carolina Lady Gamecocks.
No
who
doubt.
recently won a thrilling and knockdown, drag out game against LSU.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah, literally,
Literally.
yes, won the SEC title. So the SEC title is out the way. They defeated the LSU Lady Tigers, Angel Reese and them. And now next up is the NCAA tournament. I don't know what the position they're going, what position they're going to be. Their selections, but I'm sure both of them they'll see each other again in the NCAA women's tournament.
Must see
But
TV.
yes, yes. So these ladies are trying to make waves, trying to make must see TV, gentlemen. Especially this Caitlin Clark lady, and also I got to shout out Paige Buchler from UConn. That's another young lady that's kind of nice. I've been peeping her page. Her name is Paige Buchler, UConn guard. Um, yeah, she got a little something going on with her too. But Caitlin Clark, man, is a scoring machine. This young lady is a bucket, gentlemen. She's giving 30 pieces and 40 pieces on the regular.
Broke the NCAA scoring record, right?
Not quite. Not quite.
No. She broke the NCAA scoring record. She did
Yes.
not break the AIWA scoring record, which was
Yes.
how women's college basketball used to be classified.
Yes. Yes. And that is still currently held by who, Del?
Cheryl Swoops.
I forgot the young sister's name. A black woman. That's right, a black woman who also played guard.
From Francis Marion College in South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, but that doesn't diminish the fact that Caitlin Clark is a damn bucket. And I've peeped her since last year when her and Lady Iowa Lady Hawks upsetted South Carolina last year during the NCAA tournament where she gave them a 40 piece.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? So, who is this girl? Vlad, are you up on this young lady, Miss Clark? Is she a bucket? What are your thoughts on her? Her skill set, her talent?
Listen, she's a good shooter. I can definitely say she's a pure shooter. When she goes into the draft, she's going to be highly sorted for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But is she the only pure shooter in the league, NCAA? I like her. Yes, I do. But I also like the young lady from LSU. What's her name? Vinlay or whatever her name is?
Yes, Flose Johnson. Yes. Yes. Flose Johnson.
I remember her. So, you know, when people hype up one side and forget the other side, but the true basketball enthusiasts see what this game is about, you can see the game elevating. It's changed dramatically. The shooting form has become more pure. It's starting to look like, you know, what it's supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? It's a pure game. Basketball is a mental game, you know what I mean? And you can see the women, they run down the court. They can't do what the men do, nor do we compare them to that. Because if we start getting into that, then we got to start talking money, serious money. We got to start talking upgrades to gyms, locker rooms, and all of that. You know, equal share, equal pay, equal this, that, equal that. So that's a whole nother subject. But the women's basketball game has definitely changed. You can see the landscape going from when Cheryl Swoop played to Dawn Stanley to Lisa Leslie to where we're at now with Cardoza and Angie Reese, where these girls are, you know, stop backing down the paint, getting layups, dribbling to the foul line, pull up jumpers, and it's looking, you know, like it's looking pure. You know what I mean? So it's exciting to watch and it's good to see. And it gives girls, young girls today coming up in the game, some inspiration and motivation that the game is being elevated to another level. So Caitlin Clark is definitely that person that you can see on one side of the fence that's doing that. And then you have Angie Reese and the Cardozas of the world that's also on the other side for big girls.
Yes, and we're gonna get to those. We're gonna get to those big women in a minute. But Dell, your thoughts on Miss Clark?
I just want to say, I just want to say first and foremost, that was a lot of words, Vlad.
I know.
That was a lot of words. And you didn't answer the damn question. That man said, do you think she's a bucket? And you went all around Jenny's barn. Do you think she's a player or not, bro?
She's a player. I would never deny that.
And I'm just gonna be honest and throw it out there, bro. You threw out Miss Johnson's name with Caitlin. Can't do that.
Who Johnson?
Flose.
No, not her. I was talking about someone else, but go ahead.
No, we gonna stick to what you said.
No. I said Vinay. I forgot her name. She's the point guard for LSU.
And my point that I'm about to make is still valid.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Van Lith. That's it. Haley Van Lith. That's what I was talking about. Go ahead.
Again, the point I'm about to make is still going to be valid. You can't put them in the same category. And the reason why is because neither one of them are in the top 10 in scoring for college basketball this year. None of them. Nothing. Angel Reese and the other two that you named, they're not in the top 10 as far as points per game. So to answer your question, Ja, is she a bucket maker? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, she's averaging 31.9 points a game. The next closest person to her is Juju Watkins at 27.
No, I love Juju. Juju's another bucket. She's a horse on the inside. Hard to stop.
Juju's the next closest person to her at number 2 at 27 points a game.
Yeah, shout out to Juju. Yeah.
And then the next person under that is averaging 4 points a game less than her. So to answer your question, is Caitlin Clark a bucket?
Yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No disputing it.
She's
the hottest thing in college right now. That's what I said.
I was just about to allude to that. She is.
She is changing the landscape for women's basketball. She's making an answer where the question was, is women basketball exciting? Is women basketball? She just answered your question.
That's a two-pronged question. That's a two-pronged question. There's never, well, I take that back. It's not a two-pronged question. Is women's college basketball exciting? Always has been. Is the WNBA exciting? Hell no.
Unfortunately.
No, it's not.
Unfortunately.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It hasn't been since the inaugural season.
It hasn't been since its inception. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I gotta say the first 3 years of the WNBA, my opinion was dope. Because Liberty Comets, that rivalry.
Oh yeah. And let's not forget LA.
That carried the league.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah. That Liberty Comets rivalry. And they had some big dogs playing on each team.
Yeah, that three-peat by the Comets. I mean,
yeah.
What nobody was messing with Coop and Swoops.
No, Coop and Swoops.
Nobody.
Was it.
And Tina Thompson.
And I was about to say, and your girl Tina.
Vlad's friend. We're gonna say Vlad's friend because
Tina Lips.
He's spoken for. We're gonna say Vlad's a good friend. Tina.
Yeah, Tina. That was my girl, boy.
That's your friend, Vlad. Your friend.
No doubt. I came close to meeting her. Came real close.
Your friend.
Yeah, came real close, bro. I probably would have froze up like a bag of chips, right?
Listen, gentlemen, there's sportscasters out there. Me personally, I think it's a bit of a reach because still at the end of the day, there's a certain level of skill set to compete. And at the risk of sounding a certain way, the rave, and the showering of admiration, and respect for Caitlin Clark's play. So sportscasters
Embellishing?
has embellished and said, is she a woman that can compete in the league, meaning with the men in the NBA? I say, as nice as she is, you reach it.
I don't know, Ja. Dawn Stanley they said the same thing about Dawn Stanley. And she was able, and we know she could do it.
Dawn, I always say Dawn Staley is one of the sickest point guards that I've watched. You know what I'm saying? I always met, like I said, I always rock with her from when she was playing. But with Caitlin, Caitlin is a bucket, no question. She has a high percentage shooter, but if let's just say she plays if she's gonna play in the league, she's gonna be used as a specialty player, a shooter.
So you're saying she run behind picks, spot up and shoot?
Yeah. She's gonna have to do that.
How is that any different from Klay Thompson?
Well, Klay Thompson can handle the body. Klay Thompson can drive to the rim.
So you're saying Caitlin has no handle. Caitlin can't get to the rim. I've seen it done.
Caitlin can get to the rim with defenders in the NBA. I don't think so.
In the WNBA, absolutely.
In the NBA. In the NBA, I'm saying NBA.
That's not what my question was.
What I said was the sportscasters were reaching and saying Caitlin can possibly be the first woman that might be able to play in the league, meaning the NBA with men.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I completely missed that part. Absolutely not. That's not a reach. That's a fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I said reach, and I even gave it the benefit of that. I said, well, Caitlin can run around picks and spot up, but driving to the rack, no.
That's an absolute fantasy. She would have to be a spot up 3-point shooter to play against men, and she'd be a defensive liability.
She would be a defensive liability.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean to step over your segment. I apologize.
No, go ahead. No. That's why you're here.
But here's the thing that bugs me about that.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the equivalent to when they jumped down John McEnroe's throat when he said Serena Williams was the greatest female tennis player of all time, and they said, well, why don't you just say greatest tennis player? Because she's not. She said she would say it herself.
She admitted it to herself.
She said on more than one occasion.
Yes.
She said, I would not want to play the men's game. It is a totally different game.
But Dell, didn't she also admit that she lost to a man ranked 200th?
John McEnroe said that she would lose to the 400th player on the men's tournament. But she says that she's actually played against Roddick.
Oh, really?
Roddick, okay.
And he beat the brakes off of her.
Yeah.
100 plus mile an hour serve from a male tennis player coming to her, she said out of her mouth, is completely different than 100 mile an hour serve coming from a fellow female tennis player.
Yeah.
We need to stop trying to make a narrative where there isn't one. There are inherent differences, which is why there's a men's division and a women's division.
Exactly.
We need to stop that.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
The only true way to figure out who would be able to make it in the league from a female standpoint into the men's NBA, that woman or women would have to play against men from the very beginning of their careers in order to develop a feeling for that game.
No doubt.
And could there be some that could hold their own? Sure. Do they exist now? No.
No. And I don't think, and me personally, I don't think they won't exist for a while.
No.
And so, but
because the men's game is evolving.
Huh?
The men's game is evolved. Is
It's
the jumping
constantly evolving.
aspect. The
It's
jumping
constantly
aspect.
evolving. The jumping
Right.
aspect. You see how high Ant-Man is jumping?
Yeah, that's my point.
You know what I'm saying? You saw that block he did?
My point.
His head touched the rim.
Right.
He almost injured himself jumping that high for a block. Game-winning block. The boy's head touched the rim. You know what I'm saying? So, no. So, but these sportscasters like to embellish and reach and say, can she play with the men? She's a bucket. The girl is a bucket. Yes, she's talented, but no.
There are so many narratives.
Yes.
Right. There are so many narratives that can be crafted within the women's game that you don't have to try to make that overreach.
You know,
which is another reason why the women's game is not as popular, because they keep putting it up against a completely different beast of an animal with the NBA.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You're detracting from the women's game in and of itself. Highlight the beauty of the fundamentals of the women's game.
Exactly.
Find ways to get people interested in the intricacies of the women's game and stop comparing it to the men's game.
Exactly.
Like, had they really pushed that SEC championship and gave it the top billing that it deserved, you would have seen a different type of audience. You would have seen more people attracted to the game, is what I'm saying. Because people want to know what's going on. Like, wait, what is this? What is this? Who's this? Who's that?
I think they were. That's I don't think that.
So the TV ratings was high for that game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was a must-see game. But that was a legit. That's a budding rivalry. The game against LSU.
I don't know it is. I don't know where that came from, but that game. Hold on one second. I can find exactly how many views it got.
Well, whoever did the marketing for that game should continue to do the marketing for women's basketball. Period.
But again,
on a collegiate level.
But again, Vlad, the point is, women's college basketball does not suffer from the same situation that the WNBA does.
Yeah, the WNBA is just anemic. I don't know what the marketing standards that they're using, but it's just not enough. And then the draft, you don't even give the players time for the NCAA tournament to end before they go into the draft, before their season even start.
Yeah, because the NBA, the WNBA draft is like literally next week.
Right, and then right after that,
because the season starts after Mother's Day, or
right?
Mother's Day, whichever. You know what I mean?
And you're playing that on the back-to-back of the NBA winding down.
That's right. That's right. Now to Dell's original point, Caitlin gonna scrape some chicks in the WNBA.
WNBA, absolutely.
He will scrape some chicks in the WNBA.
It's gonna be a problem this season.
You know what I'm saying? Hey. What it do?
Money.
What it do?
Let me just illustrate a point real quick for you, Vlad and Ja.
Yeah.
The average viewership for the WNBA on CBS and ESPN, 505,000. 2 million people watched the LSU South Carolina SEC championship game.
Yeah.
The women's college basketball game is far more popular than the WNBA. Number one, it's a better product. Number two, they've got built-in following because you have school loyalty. You have the school loyalty, you have the school marketing, you have name recognition. The players are being put front and center. The coaches are stars in their own right. The WNBA needs to figure out what works for college and see how that can equate to their marketing strategy. Because number one, without advertising dollars, the WNBA is never going to be able to build. They're running in a $10 million a season deficit that's being supplemented by the NBA.
Yes.
But you say there's a wage gap. There's no wage gap. How can you have a wage gap when you're comparing apples to oranges? You've got a profitable NBA that is generating billions of dollars, and the players are reaping the benefit of the collective bargaining agreement with that. In contrast, from a percentage payout standpoint, the WNBA players make a higher percentage of their revenue share, but it's a significantly smaller pie. You can't create money out of nowhere unless you're the United States Treasury.
That's right. Facts. Big facts. Big facts. Speaking of Treasury, let me introduce my bro in here. Big Ty. Ty, what's good, family?
Hey, fellas, thanks for having me again.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Welcome back.
And I'm already loving what I'm jumping in.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to your fellow Eagles brethren fan. That's my boy Dell.
What's happening, man?
Let's fly, brother.
Yeah. Them two about to get started tonight. But listen, we saving the best for last.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. I love it. Both of y'all on here. I love it. This is gonna be good.
This is gonna be good. It's gonna be sad for me.
Bro, we just touching on the women's college basketball for a little bit before we get down to the meat and potatoes of this show, you know what I'm saying, which is the crazy ass NFL free agency. We gonna get to that.
Okay.
Well, you know, Ja, just to piggyback off Adele.
Yeah.
The other problem is he is right, brand recognition. So you got a bunch of coaches that's in the WNBA that nobody knows of, right?
Facts.
That's why the WNBA went after Dawn Stanley to get her out of SC and come up and move her up. She refused to because there's nothing there. It's like, you know, she didn't refuse though.
No, I was gonna say who in their right mind would do that?
Oh yeah. She refused it, even though they was offering her a bucket. You know what I'm saying? So it is brand recognition. It is a problem with recognizing who the players are. Because back when, like you said, the comments in the Liberty play, we knew who the players were. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We knew who Swoops was. We knew who Lisa Leslie was. We knew who
Lobo, Teaspoon.
Yeah, Lobo, because we followed them through college and we wanted to see their career progress. That's why that inaugural season was fire, because there's players that we followed in college. Yeah. Now, these college players like the chick that won, they lost actually in the championships. What was it, 2 seasons ago? And she went to Atlanta Dream or whatever the team is. She's lost on the bench. I don't even know if she's on the team anymore.
You know, talking about Ryan Howard, are you? You talking about Ryan Howard? Talking about Ryan Howard?
No, the remember the point guard? I forgot, for Stanford, I think it was.
That's a name, Ryan Howard, I think.
Was it? Well, she was the point guard for Stanford.
No, her name sounds like a guy's name, but it's Ryan. Her first name is Ryan.
And she got engaged right after the game, right? Her boyfriend or fiance gave her a ring.
Oh, it's a different player I'm talking about then. But
yeah. So basically, she got drafted by the WNBA and got lost. Right. So how can you follow a player that barely makes the roster, much less get playing time, and the game is just not the same? You know, it's not on that high. If you're not in a big city market, and even if you're in a big city market, those teams are getting bought out or moved or name changed. Like, for instance, where's the Houston Comets today? You know what I mean? Or where's the Charlotte team?
They're defunct.
Right. Just like, remember the Charlotte team? They had the Bobcats and they had the women's basketball. Well, that women's basketball moved to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
The Lynx have moved 3 times.
That's
right. Point to Phoenix. So, it's kind of hard to keep up with teams. I mean, I think Becky Hammond's got something good in
Yeah, shout
Las
out
Vegas.
the Aces, yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Becky Hammond, you had mentioned earlier about Dawn Staley that you said they offered her a bag.
yeah.
Becky's no longer the highest paid coach in the WNBA. Nate Tibbetts just signed a contract that surpassed her contract by about $300,000. So he's making $1.3 million.
Mm.
Dawn Staley is the third highest paid coach in the women's college basketball, and her base salary is 3.1 mil.
Listen, South
Yeah,
Carolina be
ain't
crazy
leaving.
to lose her.
Ain't leaving.
Why would she?
Yeah,
Kim Mulkey at LSU is making 3.26 million.
And I love her at LSU.
Why would they make the move to the WNBA? Number one, let's just say they negotiated a 5-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
The WNBA may not last another 2.
Yeah.
They can't afford it.
Yeah, you're only going to be able to run in the red for so much longer before the WNBA says the tax write-off we get from this loss is not enough for us to keep sustaining you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
That's a lot of jobs, man. That's a lot of
absolutely.
A lot of jobs.
Yeah,
a lot of jobs about the, and that's going to be another a women's league, that basketball league that failed. Because remember, in the 80s, they had a league and they lowered the rims and they made it where women could dunk. I thought that was exciting. I forgot the name of the league. I don't think that lasted a year.
Yeah. It actually lasted 2 seasons because someone that I went to high school with, Sadia Roundtree, who was an All-American at the University of Georgia, she was the first player chosen in that draft. She played point guard. But it lasted 2 seasons. She played for the Atlanta team.
Mm.
So what happened with that league? What do y'all suspect happened? Why didn't it pick up steam?
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
They folded because it was not generating the revenue.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
One last thing, gentlemen, before we get into the nitty-gritty, the meat and potatoes of the show. One last thing. Vlad, your point. We're gonna start with you, Chef Vlad. I see a little budding rivalry happening. Can this budding rivalry transcend and be and implement some form of success in the WNBA? The budding rivalry I'm talking about is Angel Reese and Carmela Cardozo. You saw them two going at each other. Big girls in the middle. You know what I mean?
Who's a senior this year? Both of them juniors?
Angel Reese is a senior, and I believe Cardozo is a senior as well.
No, Cardozo. I thought Cardozo was a junior.
A freshman or sophomore.
Yeah, she was a freshman last year.
Oh, okay. So she's a sophomore this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I see a budding rivalry happening right there, though.
Listen. I'll tell you what's must see TV.
That would be nice if that can carry over into the league.
It would, but it would still generate the popularity that it has right here. Because it's now you're talking professional, and you know it's not going to be the same. So collegiate on when it comes to basketball, college basketball for men and women has always been higher ranked because it's always been that pure game. You know, so it was never. We know there was money under the table, but you couldn't tell. You know what I mean? It was never spoiled or tampered with the mechanics of the game. You know what I'm saying? You played zone defense, you played man-to-man defense. You had Georgetown, you had Syracuse, you had the Big East, you had the SEC, you had your divisions, right? And there was always Big East versus ACC, and then it happened where? Front stage, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt, right? So those were the days of college basketball still today. Same thing with women's basketball, but you translate that, you take today's players and put them in the WNBA. Yeah. I'm almost fearful of if you put them in the wrong team, it may get lost.
Okay. All right. Dale, any takes?
They would have to be a Lisa Leslie. They would have to be a Rebecca Lobo. They would have to be a Cheryl Swoops of the league to put the league on their shoulders. But you got Brittany Griner. You got I forgot the chick's name on the Liberty. You got players like that. You got whatchamacallit out
Simone Ionescu.
Yeah, Ionescu. Who's the chick out in Vegas that's making noise?
Aja Wilson.
Right. So you got players like that, but they're not every market fans.
So So I'm gonna chime in here.
Right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Ty. You ain't speak yet. Go ahead, bro.
'Cause I think I got a solution for all of that.
Yeah.
On the WNBA level,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta sexualize it. These are women. They're not men. Nobody's looking to see women do the same things that men do. They can capitalize on what they have, their assets. We all
Literally.
are, watching the Kardashians and everything else. Why? We know why.
You know what?
And some of those ladies, I ain't gonna go too deep in my background, but some of them in person, bad.
Mm-hmm.
You see them outside of the uniform and the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
bad.
John knows. I've highlighted quite a few of those, and I've highlighted quite a few of those in the heathen debauchery section.
There you go. There you go.
But
So for me, just coming from an entertainment perspective and knowing that their demographic, I think, is middle-aged men anyway, is who actually watches the WNBA. Women don't watch it. Young
that was going to be my point.
And that's the irony.
That was going to be my point.
But women would if these ladies were performing as ladies. They watch Housewives. They watch all that stuff and get into it. But there's no entertainment aspect. There's no drama to the game. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Point well taken. Go ahead, Del.
I got 3 things that I want to bring up. I love what you said about that because that was another point that I had. So it went from 4 to 3. Good job. Good job. Good job. Like that. So here's the big thing. Number one, to go back to what Vlad was saying, when you asked him would the rivalries in college carry over into the league, no. It's a flat out no. And here's the reason why. There's not enough people already watching the WNBA game. Think about what I said a few minutes ago. The average viewership for a WNBA game this season was 505,000 viewers. One SEC championship game garnered 2 million. The LSU and South Carolina fans, as much as they love their school players, they don't follow them to the pros. Case in point, Asia Wilson came from South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina alums and the supporters did not follow her to Vegas. It's 2 different planets.
It is.
The second thing is they say we need higher pay, we need more support, we need more of this. The main people that are touting this are the very people who do not support the WNBA. Women do not follow the WNBA.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reason that they don't follow it is going to something that he touched on. They can't identify with what's on the court. It doesn't appeal to them in any way, shape, or form.
Yep.
That's exactly right. That's exactly where I was going with it. They really have to work on, and I'm talking about just uniform shifts, little things. But those little things, you start to recognize them as individuals. Like we talk about in football, you can't see players' faces, right? So you're looking at the jerseys and you're looking at the numbers. Same thing. They got to separate themselves. They got to make a name for themselves, and people will jump on. You bring in a woman that's as wild as, let's say, Dennis Rodman or Odell Beckham or whatever, it's on. She's a star. We're fine.
Right. And then the third thing that I want to talk about is that there are no homegrown waves being made. There's no inroads being made in the hometowns of the WNBA teams. They're
No, they
not out.
weren't.
They're not out in the community.
They're not.
They're not out promoting. They're not on the local television stations. Come out and support whatever.
Yeah.
They're not. The Charlotte XYZ is putting on a camp for girls. They're not doing the things to promote themselves outside of their game.
Mm.
They have to become more and more involved. They have to put themselves out there. They have to present themselves as part of the community in which they're asking for support from.
Yeah.
Facts.
And it's going to take a while, and it's going to take a concerted effort. The problem is that they don't have the budgets to be able to do those things.
Mm.
So it ultimately comes back to we're running in the red.
Back
Yep.
to the face. Yeah.
And
Good.
how much longer can a bleeding patient live?
Not long. They're
Not
gonna
long.
bleed out. Patient eventually gonna bleed out. Real spill. Fellas, let's shift gears, man. Thank you for that. Great intel, great input, great insight. Let's shift gears. Now we're gonna get to talk about what we really want to talk about. This crazy NFL free agency. Familiar faces and new places, fellas.
Ooh.
We ain't gonna start
Joe,
with
can I
y'all
say
two
this?
yet. We ain't gonna,
Can I say this, Joe?
Go
Can I
ahead.
say this, Joe?
Go ahead.
Russell Wilson to the Pittsburgh.
Or a swan or a swan song.
Yeah, listen. we Vlad, we ain't gonna start with you yet. Dell and Tom definitely ain't gonna start with y'all two yet. We saved the best for last. We're gonna start out with the appetizer. We're gonna start out with Mr. Kirk. You like that? You like that? Cousins.
Or as I've called him in the past, Mr. Check Thief.
Yeah.
He's what?
Mr. Check Thief.
Yeah.
Is
yeah.
he ever?
Yeah.
He's been stealing money for 13 seasons.
He ain't nobody's cousin. You know, he's Kirk Bezos. Yeah, right. Killing the game.
Listen,
Whoever his agent is, that he is the best agent in the NFL.
No doubt. His agent is calling him, Kirk, you like that? You like that? You like that?
Show me the money.
This man got $180 million guaranteed, and he's only won one playoff game in 12 years.
Yeah. I saw
Tony Romo had a better career than him.
Yeah, I saw something today that said he has earned or will have earned after this contract almost
$300 million
more than Tom Brady.
Yep. Yep.
That's insane.
Is it though?
On several levels.
Yeah. Brady played 20 years.
Yeah.
And has won more than anybody.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's amazing, man. I love him.
Right. And here's the other part to what you just said.
Yeah.
All of those people that talk about players should give a hometown discount or a home team discount. Brady did those things.
Yep.
Brady never had a market contract in New England. He always gave him a discount so that they could put people around him to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got championships.
But he'd be 100 million richer.
But everybody ain't Brady and everybody ain't winning championships. So you have to secure your financial future.
Dell look like Robert De Niro, don't he? And Heat.
So Mr. Cousins is gonna be a Falcon.
You gotta love it, man.
Yes.
And John, you know I heard about that immediately. I live with some Falcons fans, y'all. So, you know, Just understand that.
Yeah,
So
they excited about Mister. You like that?
actually, they are
Oh,
because
Lord.
everybody down here
Yeah,
believes that they were a quarterback away.
right.
And the quarterback was what was missing. Now, I think there's some holes on that defense that they
Yeah,
got to tighten up. And
and offensive consistency.
yeah. So it's TBD. He could do that here and get these young guys going, but so far they haven't gotten Kyle Pitts going at all. So I don't know what he really is or isn't.
right.
I like Bijan. He's awesome.
Yeah, that kid is talented.
Yeah, and everybody likes Drake. They think he's the guy as well. So
Yeah,
everybody's excited to see what can happen now that they got a quarterback who they feel like can be consistent and get them the ball. But that defense for me, but maybe Morris comes in and
shake.
turns it all around.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that defense is average. Yeah, I'm glad you
You
mentioned.
believe that?
Believe what?
Do you believe that?
That he
Believe
can
what?
turn it around?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm giving him credit for what he did
Let's
with the
keep it
Rams.
funky now. Let's keep it funky.
Yeah, what he did with the Rams. But before that, because he was here before, I wasn't impressed. And I wasn't impressed with Tampa. But he showed me something with the Rams. So I'm 50-50. I'm pulling for him. I'm hoping that he could do something. Let me say that.
Mhm.
Now do you think now just while we've all watched Kirk throughout the years, do you think he can do something with that offense with Bijan and Drake and the tight end? I forget the tight end, Kyle Pitts. Can he do something with Kyle Pitts, Drake, and Bijan? Can that be a formidable tandem, quartet rather?
I think so, considering that division, man. The division is terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that
South.
In my
It's,
opinion.
it's wide open. It's wide
Yeah,
open.
exactly.
wide open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
You
is.
just got to be better than Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans.
And that's not saying much.
And
That's not
they
saying
weren't
much.
last year.
I think it can
That's
be
not
done.
saying much.
So what that mean? All you gotta do is go 9-8.
Essentially, that's what it takes, right? It was like 3 teams in it right till the end.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I mean,
Yep.
yeah, it's a terrible division. So yeah, I think they could jump them easily, for sure.
All right. Dig it.
My question is, can the three of them form a three-headed monster? It's possible, but they still got offensive line holes. And you don't know if what Zach Robinson is bringing to the table as the OC is going to translate to Cousins' skill set. Cousins ain't Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Right. Right. So yeah, they got to work, but they went after him, right? He was the guy. They must think. They must think.
Must think.
He
Yeah.
can't do it. Yeah.
See something.
They usually know. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but they went after Josh McDaniel with the same gusto because it was his system that created Brady, and we found out once Brady left that wasn't the case.
It wasn't the case at all. No,
None of those guys coming out of New England.
Trash. I mean, going back so far as Charlie Weiss.
Exactly.
Yes, Charlie Weiss.
And I say the same thing. I don't know if we're gonna talk about, the draft yet, but these USC guys coming out of USC, I'm not a big fan of that either. So
I was never look, Del and Vlad will tell you. I say that all the time.
Yeah, man. They
never get a USC quarterback. Never. Not end well.
And here's the thing. You have to question the mentality of Caleb Williams coming out as a USC quarterback now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
You don't even know the rule book. You're sitting up there talking about who whatever team drafts you is gonna have to talk ownership percentage. It's not even
Really?
allowed. That's not even allowed, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wild.
Wow.
You're saying
He was talking that though.
This
he
guy.
and that's the reason he doesn't have an agent, because every agent that he and his father talked to, they were like, "You're delusional."
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only was he delusional in that, then he decides I'm not going to perform any drills at the combine,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
none.
US.
So let's just say that USC Pro Day rolls around and he has an off day.
Yeah.
At least if you have an off day at the combine, you can make up for it at your college pro
Okay.
day.
Pro
But
day.
you just gave yourself a one-hitter quitter. If you don't knock it out the park, bruh, you went from potential top 3 draft pick to you may be the next Brock Purdy.
You gonna plummet.
Yeah.
You gonna
Yeah,
plummet.
you playing with your stock.
Ain't no ownership at that point, brother.
Yeah. Let's move along, Jess. Let's move along, Jess.
Playing with
Yeah.
your stock.
Next up. All right, Vlad. Sierra's husband is a Pittsburgh Steeler.
You know what? It may fit him. I don't know. Maybe he do pump and dumps. Pause.
Listen, I think I'm gonna get here's my take. I think Russ going to the Steelers is maybe a second chance, a little resuscitation to his career. I think Mike Tomlin can turn him around. Obviously, Kenny Pickett ain't it. We've all said that Penny Pickett
I said that from the minute his name was called.
That was a unanimous decision. We all thought Kenny Pickett wasn't it, and it's apparently so. With Kenny Pickett, here's that quarterback room: Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky, which they carted off almost immediately. So, but anyway, Russ is rocking the black and gold. Mike Tomlin has all my respect. He gets the best out of anybody that plays for him. This man has not had a losing season. His worst season is a 500 season. I think Mike can get the best out of Russ, and Mike can give him a life raft to save his career. Your thoughts, Ty?
So actually, I don't think Russ needed to resuscitate his career. I thought he had a pretty good season last year.
Okay.
If anything, I question Sean Payton as a coach. And I did beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we haven't seen him do anything without Drew Brees. So, you know, for him to come in and us to just expect certain things to happen, you know, they didn't happen, but Russ played well. Russ wasn't on that defense that gave up 70 points or whatever it was. Russ has led them on a 5 or 6 game winning streak. His stats were pretty good.
That he did.
I think he's going to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, and honestly, the way they do it, you're handing that ball off. You're not doing a whole lot. It's almost like what he did in Seattle is the way I see it. Now, you know, they may change some things, but I can see it looking very much the way it did in Seattle for him.
Open up the playbook for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they're going to let him throw, though. Not like that. Short dumps in the middle.
What they do, yeah.
Short dumps in the middle, but I don't see them going yard.
Dale, your thoughts, Russell, Pittsburgh Steeler. Your thoughts?
Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh made sense 3 years ago. It made sense 3 years ago. And the reason I say 3 years ago is because Pittsburgh had a more complete team at that time.
Agreed.
Russell would not have had to come in and be the quote unquote savior. This iteration of the Pittsburgh Steelers coming up, way too many question marks. You've got Najee Harris on offense. And then what else?
Good question. Good question. But I do trust them with how they draft receivers. They have consistently done well with that.
And he, right. I can get on board with that, but their offensive line has deteriorated for the last 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
So as they're constructed right this moment, you're putting Russell Wilson behind the same line that he had his last year in Seattle.
Essentially.
So,
yeah.
So I can see where this could end up being a disaster. On as a floor, it can be a disaster if the right things aren't put in place. Because you also got to remember, brand new offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brand new offensive coordinator. So you don't know how well he and Russ are going to work together. So they've got to.
It got to be better than it did in the last place. Got to be better than that.
I knew as soon as they hired Sean Payton, and Jock, you can attest to this. Because number one, I predicted that Payton was going to the Broncos almost a year before it happened. And then the second thing that I said was that Russell and Sean will not be able to coexist. It started off badly because he publicly drug his quarterback. We're not having players that aren't part of the locker room. No player is going to have their own office space. Players get one parking space. I mean, he did these things publicly. So you got hired and you immediately alienated the star quarterback, the franchise player, the man that you're paying $100+ million to in his contract. You immediately alienated him. Peyton never wanted Russell. Peyton wanted the job, but he wanted to build it in his own way.
Building in his own way. Yeah, that's right.
Now, could this be a serviceable relationship between Russ and the Steelers? Sure. But it's going to be a matter of how they address the question marks that are around Russell and Harris. Because right now, those are the only two pieces that are solidly in place. Everything else is a question mark. So okay. That's just my 2 cents.
Dig it. Next up. Derrick Henry is a Baltimore Raven.
Ooh. Yeah.
Is this gonna take the Ravens to the next step? With the addition of Derrick Henry, do you feel the Ravens will finally get over that hump and get to the big dance?
We both shook our head at the same time.
All right. Expound, bro.
So
running the rock has never been a problem in Baltimore.
Exactly.
Baltimore has always had a formidable rushing attack.
Yeah. Oh, let Ty expound, brother.
I mean he's right on it though. He's saying that's what they do. So you just brought in another gun to do what you already do. Lost, I think they lost Patrick Queen to Pittsburgh, right?
Patrick Queen signed with Pittsburgh, absolutely.
Yeah, Patrick Queen is a Steeler. Yeah, that's right.
So you may be lighter on that side. And then honestly, they live and die with Lamar. It's him. And if he can't do it, we saw what happened in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what else is going on. He has to show up in the playoffs and be that guy. And until he shows it, every year we'll be in the same place. They look good on paper.
They choked badly.
Yep.
They choked.
Yep.
Literally the whole hood, the whole community was behind Lamar.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, seriously, yo,
Yeah.
we was all behind Lamar. I was like, yo,
Everybody.
we was all behind Lamar.
Mhm.
And if there was a season to do it and beat Kansas City, it
It
was
was this year.
That
Yep, it
would've
was
been
this
it.
past season.
This was
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
King Henry, he gonna come in, he gonna get his yards and everything else, but
Yeah.
your quarterback got to get you over the top.
Yeah.
It's on Lamar, and the pressure just keeps getting heavier and heavier every year.
Heavy is the head.
Yeah,
Where's the crown? Dell, your take, sir.
I just want to read a couple of names that left Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Duvernay, their number 3 option, gone. Ronald Darby, starting corner, gone. Starting linebacker, Deshaun Phillips, gone. Starting linebacker, Patrick Queen, gone. Odell Beckham, not re-signed yet, if he ever will be. You've got Lamar, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and Marquise Brown.
yeah.
And
I don't like that too.
Need I say more?
You don't want to add Zay Flowers, although he dropped that touchdown. You don't.
Zay Flowers was a one-hit wonder at best.
Hey,
If he's not running a 9 route, he's useless.
don't forget Nelson Aguilar. Don't forget him.
The man with the hands of stone.
Oh, Darius
Yes,
Tony
indeed.
Part 3.
Yeah.
Darius Tony.
Oh man.
Oh man, I see Ty and Dell about to act up, man. All you got to say is mention Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Why would we mention Nelson Aguilar?
Another USC guy right there. There you go.
Oh man.
My God. Oh man. Listen, that's crazy.
You gotta love it.
That is funny. Well, speaking of Mr. Aguilar, we saving the best for last. I'm glad you're in this conversation as well.
I don't want to. At least it looks like what's his name? The
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. What do I do with my Saquon jersey, man? What do I do with that?
Hey,
can I turn it back in?
Paint it green.
Right, paint it green. Paint it green.
Dude looks so happy right now, don't he?
Wouldn't you? He just got out of hell.
Yeah.
Listen, especially with. No, I'm just saying. Listen, you got a quarterback that you re-up in front of you, and he wasn't it this year.
And then now they don't want him.
I know.
Yeah, they don't want him. They got they signed Drew Lock.
They let Tyrod roll.
I know, right. Yeah, I saw that.
Tyrod went across the street and signed with the Jets.
Signed with the Jets. The Giants is all Giants is
Tyrod right across the street.
The first black quarterback that the Giants get, and look what they do, right?
Yeah, man. And Vlad, you always touched on that underlying subliminal situation with black quarterbacks, especially when it comes to the Giants brass.
They only had one.
Which was Tyrod.
Right? No. It was another one.
Who else was there?
Oh, I forgot his name. He played behind
behind Eli?
Who?
Did he play behind Eli?
What's your name was there?
Gino was there for a hot minute.
Gino was there.
Gino.
Yeah.
Was there for a hot minute.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, but Tyrod is the only black quarterback to ever get
to win a game.
Yeah.
He's the only black
Yes.
quarterback to win a
Win a
game.
game. Yeah.
To get time like that.
Yeah. And they made it. They announced that too. They made that a stat. It's a Tyrod Taylor, the first black quarterback for Giants to ever win a game.
Oh man.
That's
But yet you go with Danny Dimes, right? And then you
Look, I'm gonna reiterate what I said years ago when Danny Dimes first got drafted. The man had four offensive coordinators in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
4. How the hell do you expect that man to develop? He's learning a new playbook every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You cannot bring your quote unquote franchise quarterback into an unstable situation and then blame him for the house falling apart.
No, that's ownership.
You hired a head coach with no coaching experience, no coordinator experience.
Who's that, McAdoo?
You hired a coach that was a special teams coordinator for the New England Patriots and expected him to win.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about now. Okay. I thought you were talking about McAdoo.
Daboll is the most solid coaching hire that they've had. And I'm not talking about his personality. I'll talk about his personality in a second. He is the most qualified, stable head coaching hire that New York has had since they ran Coughlin out of town.
I agree with that.
In between those two, I don't know how they expected to win. And when Bill Belichick announced his retirement from New England, he was warning coaches about the Giants organization because they actively tried to go after him. If not as a coach, they wanted to bring him in as a supplement to the front office. And he said, I'm not going into that chaos. And anyone else that is thinking about it should reconsider because the ownership is not about the right culture. His words.
Yeah, they upside down over there.
Well, yeah, Belichick
upside down.
You know it's something up. Because we know Kraft be having his parties. So Belichick judging another owner, you know it's bad.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah.
So glad Saquon is gone. He's with your rivals, man. Gentlemen, Saquon is your feature tailback on the Eagles. What's your thoughts on that? Jalen.
You want to start or you want me to go?
I'll let you go, sir.
All right. The one thing that Saquon does better than DeAndre Swift did is pass protect. Take pass protection out of the equation, they're the same back. Swift may even be a little more dynamic with the ball in his hands. Do I like it? Yes. Do I like the price that they paid for it? No.
Okay.
Now that's the one thing I didn't hear, Del. What was the price?
He got his deal is averaging $12.8 million a season. And he got 26 million guaranteed.
But he's only $3 million. This the thing. He's only $3.5 million.
I'm not talking about the cap.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just in his guaranteed money. Cap is a whole different thing. That's what I'm gonna talk about when we get to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the market that he set. Which thank God that there were idiots like Zach Moss and Josh Jacobs to help bring that back to reality. Because if they had kept Saquon's contract as the market value, then everybody was going to have to overpay. So we definitely overpaid from the running back market standpoint. I hope it brings immediate dividends.
But,
y'all got a better O line than the Giants, though.
So
true, but this, again, if you take the pass protection out of the equation, Saquon and Swift are the same back, particularly when it comes to being on the field. This past season was the first season that Swift actually made it through the whole season virtually unscathed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Last season, Saquon only missed 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
which is the best that he's had since he's been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Our training and medical staff is going to have to be extra vigilant to make sure that that doesn't resurface.
definitely. I
Good.
certainly.
Saquon is your featured back. Your thoughts?
Well, so I'll just address this first because I love what's happening with the running backs right now.
Okay.
I actually think the running backs should be paid. And I love the fact that they are dominating the market. And Kansas City has shown us that the actual wide receiver spot is not as valuable as we think. So for me, Saquon and all these other guys getting paid because they touch the ball so much and because we think in our new offense he's going to be catching the ball a little bit too. I think it's a good value, especially when you talk about that cap number when we get to that. So I'm looking forward to what he can bring to the Eagles offense. Again, he's somebody that people are going to pay attention to. And personally, I'm not even sure what he is because I can't remember a Giants team that was actually, I would say, complete with him on it, where we could really, really see what he is.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ with that because he ran roughshot over us. Remember?
Over us. But I'm talking about complete.
So you could see what he's capable of.
Okay.
But I understand what you're saying because we had definite tackling issues and we had scheme issues after they flipped Patricia to play calling. So I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you can see the burst and you can see what he can put on the field. Question is, does it translate to against a defense at full strength? I get that.
Right.
I get that.
That's what it's going to take. Is he as good as Christian McCaffrey? That's what I want to know. Right?
Point taken. I agree. I agree with that.
McCaffrey with San Francisco, he
put them over the top.
Player on the field.
He put him over the top.
Yeah. So I want to see if he's that good. I think he can be. I definitely think he can be. And I agree. Initially I was against us losing Swift. I love Agent Zero. That was my guy. But when you look at potentially, especially the passing game, what we're going to do, I think Saquon may be able to help us a little bit more. Like we're talking about the pass protection. I believe his hands might be a little bit better as far as being a receiver. So we'll see. We'll see. But he's definitely going to be a threat that everybody's going to be paying attention to initially. So our first 4 or 5 games, everybody's going to be paying attention to him. And I think it's going to open up everything else for everybody else.
Right. And from a historical standpoint, if you watch Kellen Moore's play calling, he features the backs in order to keep the defense honest. So they're not going to be able to load the box like they did against us.
Right. Which we need because
definitely
it was horrific last year. So yeah.
And I think we may actually see a crossing route or two.
What?
That's been missing since the season before the Super Bowl.
Nobody goes across the middle. Nobody on this team.
Wait a minute.
If you get lined up straight.
You trying
So
to tell me they? You
a
trying to
lot
tell
of
me
stuff to
they
get
out,
done.
You trying to tell me they acting like Todd Pinkston? They was acting like Todd Pinkston out there.
Hey man,
It wasn't their fault. No. Pinkston made his own decisions. This was coaching. These were play call issues. No, Pinkston was something else.
Yeah. We not gonna talk about trash and Stinkston.
Trashed instinct. Gotta love it.
Yeah, he said.
And
Pinkston
Freddie
was his own
Fraud.
route. He said,
Oh man.
Love
Yeah,
it.
those were some years.
around them.
But again, Andy Reid kind of returning to that blueprint. No receivers. He will do that. He will do that and gets away with it. It shows you that position is not as important as we all think it is. They're about to pay Justin Jefferson something crazy. Whoever pays him, about to pay him something crazy. And honestly, I do believe these backs deserve more because they're going to see them.
It's a strong possibility that Justin Jefferson could be a cap casualty.
And you got that right. Because he about to won a lot of money.
Yep.
It's about to change everything at that position.
Yep.
Well, on the flip side, we're gonna stay with y'all again. On the flip side, you got one of my major guys. I'm definitely gonna miss him. It's a big loss for us. My guy Bryce Huff. He's joining your squad now. Just continuing the long legacy of Jets Eagles swaps. That's why me and Dell call each other cousins.
Right.
But listen, if y'all seen Bryce, I'm sure y'all peeped Bryce. So Bryce Huff is a great third down specialist on defense. He comes in for those blitz packages, so I think he'll greatly add a positive effect for your defense. But
I like what he can be.
Yeah.
But my reservation is he had the one season. He was a standout for one season. Can it be duplicated? And also based on Vic Fangio's scheme, can he drop and cover?
No.
Because that's the situation. Yeah, that's because that's the situation we're going to find ourselves in, because Fangio is a fan of the 3-4 look, which means that your drop ends are actually going to become outside linebackers, and they may be responsible for the flat. And we saw firsthand, Todd, back me up if you, or tell me I'm lying. They dropped Hassan Reddick in coverage, and we were like, "What the hell?"
That was a disaster. Yep.
Yikes. So if your scheme is a 3-4 and it's a third and long, now Bryce's blitz package. That's what he did for us. Third and long, third and short. We threw in Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff on the ends. Rush the quarterback, dead play. Quarterback had to get rid of it. That is Bryce Huff's strength. To apply the pressure, come towards the quarterback, meet his D lineman at the quarterback. That's his pressure. Now, you saying he running 3-4 schemes, and he got a couple flats. Good luck to you, brothers, with that. I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that for y'all.
Well, at least Devin White is a decent cover linebacker. He's a decent cover linebacker. We just signed him today.
So that's what concerned me. It wasn't so much Huff the player. It's the fact that we were bringing him in, which means we're probably letting Haas go, Hassan Reddick, or Josh Sweat.
More than likely, I think that based on some of the things that have been said about Josh overly freelancing and doing his own thing last year, I think he's more so on the way out, and they're going to do something to try to keep Reddick.
Okay. All right.
Now, but there is a strong possibility we could lose both, especially if the right trade offers come in.
And that when they made this move, that was my initial thought. We're gonna lose our guys.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I love Haas. I need that dude to stay. He's a real Eagle.
I would have preferred that they let Josh Sweat go and
Yeah.
they would have kept Kaiser White.
I agree with you there too. I loved him too, but he
His
went with
his
that
his
fool
his
in Arizona, man.
right. His game was a lot more complete.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yep. So yeah, honestly, the Huff, the player, I really like him. I agree with what everybody's saying as far as what kind of defense are we going to run and what he's going to be asked to do. Um, but then again, we have some strong safety play, right? We're bringing CJ back, and we got guys who can support. I really actually was wondering if they would move Slay over to safety at some point too and get a young corner, but
Well, here's the thing: you could actually attempt that and move Slade to a free safety, put CJ at strong safety,
Yeah.
and maybe get away with Isaiah Rogers and Ringo or Ricks. You may be able to get away with that, but Bradbury's making too much money for him not to be on the field.
No, I'll
He's
pay.
garbage, but
I'll
he's
pay
making too
him.
much money.
I'll give him extra. He can go
Yo,
sit down.
Job.
I
I promise
pay
you.
that man.
I promise you, this channel just turned into Eagles Nation just now. None of this is related to me. Nothing.
And I know you're not talking, Mister. I talk about the Knicks every day.
Right.
Listen, I agree. Yes, I do. But I'm just saying.
Ja specifically said, let's talk about the Eagles, which is what we doing. You bring up the Knicks anytime you feel like it.
No, there's no Knicks talk here.
Yeah,
I didn't bring it up.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
But
I'm just saying that.
But I'm definitely. That's why I saved y'all for last. I said we're gonna save the best for last. So
this is must see TV right here.
Yeah.
Like if you're an Eagles fan, you're tuning in right now, locked in. Like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, man.
This is great. That's what I meant by this is Eagles Nation's TV right now because I'm just sitting here I'm captivated. I just lost my top running back. We ain't trash right now. We nothing but trash.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm more locked into the Eagles channel than I am the Giants.
And you lost, damn Vlad. And you lost, and your solid backup QB went across the street.
Yeah, and
chilling with us now.
Yeah. We got Drew. We got Drew Lock. We got Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, who couldn't beat Geno Smith for the starting position in Seattle.
Yep.
That's who you bring in.
He could beat the Eagles last year. Let's not forget.
Well, that's true.
Drew Lock.
That's true, but he still couldn't beat Geno out for the start. Position.
Oh man,
at least he's not from Duke. Let's just say that.
Right.
At least he's not from Duke.
Yeah.
I'll take that any day.
Oh man, this is dope. But unfortunately, fellas, we about to wind down. We're running out of time. But
listen, we gotta continue this because this got really. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
this got really juicy. Pause at the end with this Philly talk because now I'm captivated by the Eagles.
And we didn't get to talk about the Cowboys and their cap hell.
Hey, and I saw Roy this morning.
I'm ready.
I saw Roy this morning, and he ain't have nothing to say because the Cowboys ain't make no moves. None.
They can't make moves. They can't make any moves. I know we about to run out of time, but I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
The Cowboys, to me, are the equivalent of that social media family that goes out and they post all these trips and all the fun that they having and the fly vacations and the fly house. And when the camera ain't on or they not videoing, they got their checkbook and they trying to battle like, how the hell we gonna make this work?
Yeah,
I mean, cause think about this.
Right.
They are in cap hell, and their cap Their dead cap money is wrapped up in 3 players.
Yeah.
Their total cap hit, which is a separate category, their total cap hit is tied up in 3 players: Parsons, Prescott, and Lamb. You know what all 3 of them have in common?
What's that?
What's that?
They have to have contract extensions, so they're free agents next year.
Well, I respect your
They
ambition, Willie, but you got to have vision.
They have to do an extension on Michael Parsons. The only thing that they have left to be able to do, which they already did, was pick up his 5th-year option. But they have to get him an extension. They have to pay Dak if they're going to keep him. They have to pay CD Lamb. CD Lamb will be a free agent after this season unless they tag him. You're not going to be able to tag your receiver and your linebacker and your quarterback. Dak is due for a $60 million plus payday.
Yeah.
He already counts $59 million against your cap right now.
He by himself is double the Eagles cap for this year.
Jeez.
Get this.
Man.
Get this. It costs less for us to pay Saquon, and this is in cap hit. Jalen Hurts, Saquon, AJ, and Devontae only count for $39 million against the cap.
Yep.
Dak Prescott counts $59.1 million in cap hit for this season. That's why they can't make any moves in free agency.
Damn it, man.
Eric Kendrick, that's your big splash. Eric Kendrick and your long snapper. That's your big splash because they were $8 million over the cap.
That's my damn it, man, y'all. all who agree say aye.
Hey,
oh man, that's funny.
They need to move off that for real, for real.
Yeah.
Real.
Well, that's why they'll never win a Super Bowl
Real.
until
They've got to bring in a college stud on a rookie deal and build around it.
Yeah. That's what they got to do. You can't keep doing this with Dak, and you only get so far because he's pulling everybody back at this point.
Yep.
Yes.
Let him do a Kirk Cousins thing because he keeps getting paid too. He's on that same tier.
Yeah, that team getting paid. Yeah.
Cousins and Sam Bradford, who I always got to press. Sam Bradford changed the game on all of this because he used to
Sam Bradford is the reason that they have the rookie pay scale.
Exactly.
Because Sam Bradford came out of college with $63 million guaranteed
out the gate. Out the gate. Never played. Yep.
Sam Bradford was the first true $100+ million quarterback.
Yep.
And you see what his career was like.
I actually remember that. I actually remember that. Yeah, I actually remember
like Kirk Cousins. It's like Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Some dudes know how to get paid, and I respect them for that.
You have to understand the game in order to run it.
Yep.
Yep. Well, is that a unanimous damn it with you guys, or do you have a damn it man individually?
Oh, that you can't beat that one.
You can't beat that one.
Nothing else to
you can't beat that. Yo, that deserves.
Well, I have my own damn it man, although that one is good. My damn it man is going out to Mr. Tiki Barber. He just needs to chill. He just needs to hush his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Tiki Barber comes off like he's the ambassador of the New York Giants, like he's a well-respected teammate. His own teammates didn't like him in his playing days.
Especially Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah.
Tiki Barber is to the New York Giants what Colin Kaepernick is to the league.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
He's trying to lobby a fan base that don't want him.
Yeah. He's not a well liked individual. The whole giant fan base is not feeling TV Barber, especially the way he's interacting with his players, and he has the nerve to come out his mouth and talk about Saquon, talk about you're dead to me. You're dead to me, like my guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sounds like he's living rent free in your head, bro.
Yeah. So I like, and Saquon really didn't do anything wrong. I mean, the Giants brass was basically treating him like shit. Didn't want to pay him. They franchise tagged him so he couldn't go anywhere. So now after this year, he got released. He went to an organization that's willing to pay him. They saw his worth and value, and they're just mad because Saquon might bake him.
Yeah.
And now the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You're gonna have to go see this man twice a year now. What is Kayvon?
That's the big thing right there.
What is Kayvon Thibodeau gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What is Kayvon Thibodeau gonna do? You know, what is Big Cat Leonard Williams gonna do?
Right. Can I add a subtitle to your damn it, man?
Go ahead.
Because it dawned on me while you were talking. Tiki Barber gets a damn it, man, from me also. Not because of how he's trying to act with the Giants fans, but because of the jacked up situation he puts his identical twin brother in. Every time Rondé goes outside, somebody is saying, "Hey, Tiki, what's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Bruh, I ain't Tiki."
Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Putting his Hall of Fame.
Sad days.
Is
Days
Rondé in the Hall of Fame yet?
Rondé has to go outside in his jacket to let people know that he ain't Tiki.
Right.
See, gold jacket. I'm not him.
You gotta go out there in the gold jacket, right? Yeah. But I like what Saquon tweeted back to him. You talking all of this, and don't smile in my face when you see me.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
That's the other thing that I like that Saquon is bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Seemingly, he's a solid citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's always been a thing with the Eagles. We pretty much got good guys, good people out in the community.
Yeah.
You know, every once in a while you get a knucklehead, but for the most part, he fits the culture in that way too.
Yeah.
So that response is a perfect response for something.
Yep.
So
that was the most Philly thing that I'd heard all week.
Yep.
That's a Philly response though. Don't smile in my face when you see me.
But he's from Allentown, so what you expect?
There you go. You know what it is.
You know what it is. You know what it is. We all know who his uncle is. So you know.
Right.
So you know how he know how to throw hands, right?
I'm sure he got that in his DNA. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Right.
Yeah, so Tiki need to chill, man. So my damn it, man, goes out to Mr. Barber. And stop messing your brother Rondé's life up.
Facts. Facts.
Oh man, gentlemen, this has been one of the dopest shows yet. I thank you guys for coming on. My bro, Ty Money, Dell, the football guru, the god of the gridiron, half of Chef Vlad. This is your boy Ja, the drum major. Always remember, whatever you do, make sure you love what you do so you can embrace the grind. WGR Sports, we are gone. Till next time.